guys? Welcome. Hello, guys, and welcome to the Game Time Gazette. This is your host, Isaiah Aneni. I thank you, for joining me on another day, another beautiful day. Weather is weird. A lot of world politics are weird, and just life is weird as well. Oh man, no, my mic is just not stable today. Not stable for these first 24 seconds. Doesn't want to let me get this message out. But yeah, not a lot of things are stable in life. The world's not stable. I even seen a documentary from like what happened, with the Nickelodeon kids, the 90s kids, and the abuse they went through and growing up, and just seeing all the darkness in our world. And I just thought to myself, hey, isn't this why we love sports? Give us some light through this darkness. Let us think about some other things. While the world's going to shit, we're over here enjoying some nice NBA basketball. College ball's about to start soon. NFL rumor season hasn't been more alive. Just feeling a lot. European football is starting to heat up. Got international break starting up. Got just a lot of things cooking in the pot right now in the sports world. And to be honest, that's exactly where I'll start is from. Just from the recap of, I guess let's go through what happened in the NBA last night real quick. I seen a lot of it was a perfect day for the NBA to get, for Vegas to get NBA bettors. I mean, a lot of just weirdness happening in the games. Despite, it was fun though. It was some fun games. I'm gonna add the kind of highlight reel as I start talking now, because I'm gonna start talking about one of the games that I really enjoyed watching yesterday for the time I watched it, and that was the Timberwolves against the Utah Jazz. In that game, first quarter, Anthony Edwards, you probably seen the highlights, passes it off. I think it was Nickeil Alexander Walker, passes it off to him, gets the ball back. Oof. He exploded. He looks like he elevated while he was in the air. It looked like he was flying. If you follow the Game Time Gazette at the GTG Podcast HQ on Twitter, you would have seen the video right up there. You could go check it out right now. It's probably all over social media. Anthony Edwards was flying up there, and that's just, the ridiculous type of bounce that he has. I wanted to quickly bring that up. Timberwolves obviously won by 10 points, this and that. And then you see in the Hawks and Lakers game, Jalen Johnson, he went up there and got first quarter too. First 30 seconds of the game. Jalen Johnson, fast break. They get a first possession for the Hawks on offense is a fast break opportunity. Austin Reeves right there trying to take the charge early in the game. Jalen Johnson said, "No boy, boss up, boy." Got up there and yammed it. That was something to see, and that was a blowout. Hawks have not been looking great without Trae Young. It's just like the Joel Embiid thing, with Philadelphia. Even though Philadelphia's been able to pick a few more wins up, able to move from the 8th seed, I believe, to the 6th seed after their win last night. Their win against the Miami Heat. Who's out with Jimmy Butler as well right now. Yeah, I just really wanted to quickly get through those, two highlight dunks. We're talking about, the NBA just heating up now. This is the time that the NBA heats up, going into April, going into playoff time. This is when, teams start to take it a lot more seriously. They started to take it seriously at the beginning of March, right? But this is crunch time now for a lot of the teams in the NBA. I talk about the Sixers. Sixers are in 6th seed. They'll be looking to go up to 5th, 4th seed if they're able to, right? They still have a chance to get up until like the 2nd seed. Obviously probably Boston is far and away from everyone. Boston probably going to be in these last maybe like 2, 3 more wins, and they're gonna lock up first seed in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they're already 10 games ahead of the Bucks. There's like what 14, 15 games remaining, so 2, 3 more games, and they lock up first seed. So really, it's just a fight between 2 and 7 and 8. 2 to 8, 2 to 9, honestly, is where it's gonna get juicy. The Bulls are, I guess, starting to heat up a little bit. They've had a trash season. They're gonna make the play-in game, but I don't see them doing much after that, to be honest. Like the play-in game, and then probably just bow out there. Hoof. But yeah, this is where the NBA starts to heat up. It starts to heat up a little bit more, and you just want it to be. You would love that. You enjoy this time. Not just want it to be anything. You enjoy this time. You enjoy the March Madness of it all as well. You enjoy, March Madness coupled in with it all. I advise you guys, be out there, be safe with your gambling. It is March, and this is where the books get you, man. I gave you guys a few picks yesterday. Let me go through those again. Let me pick up my bracket again. And because I just give you guys these because this is looking like one of those years that like they're gonna be able to get a lot of people, especially if you're betting favorites, especially if you are thinking, even if you're betting with the trends that happen in the tournament, that as well. Some of the trends, I do recommend, and I do give out there as well. But some of those trends, they're very fickle trends that like. Hey, they've hit, but doesn't mean it's gonna hit again this year, and it's only hit this time because of this, right? So it's like just those fickle things, and just watch out for all of those. That's what I've been trying to just stress out to everybody. Just watch out for all of those. Excuse me. Sorry, it's a cold day out there today. I'm wearing a beanie. That's why I'm wearing the beanie. Canada has the weirdest weather in the world. I mean, we're talking about it was 15, 16 last week, and now it's snowing, like full-blown snowstorm outside, and it's one of them ones where it's like full-blown snowstorm on the outside. Like, I was like, whoa, this is very surprising, but that's how Canada is. Expected a lot more snow in this time. I don't even know why I'm talking about this snow, but expected a lot more from the weather. That's the whole global warming thing is really crazy when you think about it. I mean, we're talking about what is global warming? I mean, let's get some different type of education here today. Cause I'm call me a noob, call me whatever, but I really don't even understand it. Like, I really don't even understand it. So, why do I have to submit it? Nah, no, I don't. What are you doing? I wanted to read this from the National Geographic because where else? But they want me to sign up. I don't want to sign up. All right, but yeah, I mean, just talking, and then we think about, what's going on in our world, just a lot of crazy things, and yeah, just think back to the utopia of sports and how it mends a lot of things in life and how it helps a lot of things in life, and we are starting March Madness. The madness begin with the first 4 tomorrow. I obviously gave out early picks for the bracket. Let me give out my first 4 picks. So let's start off with Howard versus Wagner. Okay, Howard versus Wagner. Let's look at the. I wanna be able to start breaking down some film with you guys. Obviously, some of these March Madness games, some of these NBA games, all of that. I'm gonna be getting some film, just breaking it down with you guys, not just talking, rumors and news and my opinions on stuff, but give you some actual analysis, teach you guys some basketball, the ones that know basketball, the ones that are novices and trying to learn a little bit more about basketball. We're gonna do that as well, right? you know, honestly, while we're here, we're just gonna we're gonna look at Howard's offense. I know Howard's a good offensive team. They rank. Let's see their ranks real quick here. So they were 9-5 in their conference, 18-16 overall. Team stats. I'm not really seeing a lot of team. Sorry, let me just get this here. Yeah, so basically Howard averages. Yeah, Howard's a good 3-point shooting team. They chuck a lot of them up. They make eight a game. Wagner though, they are a great defensive team. So this is kind of a yin yang situation. You got a good offensive team versus a good defensive team here. Um, for the Wagner Seahawks, right? For the Wagner Seahawks, they are 6-4. They average. These are the last 10, I guess. So this is a smaller sample size than a full year. They're 6-4, average 62 points per game, 39 rebounds per game, 12 assists, 5.2 steals, 2.7 blocks as a team, and they only shoot 38% from the field. Their opponents average 60 points per game. Okay, the Bison 8-2, averaging 75.5, 35 rebounds, 14.7, 5.3 steals, 3. Blah, blah, blah. I can name all these stats. I really want to look at their Bison basketball offense. I really want to just look at their how they play their offense. This is 3 days ago in the MAEC tournament semifinals. You had the North Carolina Central Eagles, right, against the Howard Bisons. Oh no, I am so sorry. That is the women's side of the bracket. That is so embarrassing. So embarrassing, man. So embarrassing. Okay, we'll just play Howard against Delaware State. This is the MAAC championship. This is the men's side. Less embarrassing now. This is just a quick look at the road to get there for Howard. So they had to take on Morgan State. This is the MAAC tournament. Obviously, it's a weaker conference. Just not gonna take too long to preview it, to be honest with you. Let me just continue that. Alrighty. So one thing that I always say while watching basketball and while watching sets, especially in college basketball, let me hit a quick pause there on that first hit jumper. Is the college game is very, very slowed down. Obviously if you watch the college college basketball game and an NBA basketball game, the style of play is very different. You have NBA players say that you learn defense in college, or something like that, right? That like college is where you learn defense, which is true. You learn defense. You learn. For the more set shooters, you learn how to be able to make those set shots a little better. Like the catch and shoot shooters learn a lot more basketball in college basketball. But end of the day, it's a very, very different game than the NBA game. I say this because, just looking at the scoring, looking at the defending, looking at the the types of teams that you want to be betting on in this March Madness. You're not thinking with the traditional sense. This is, of course, even if you've bet March Madness before, you bet college basketball before, you would understand this as well. You're not thinking on the traditional sense of this is how I'm thinking towards the NBA, right? You see a total under 128, you're thinking this is mad low. Okay, let me explain to you the first two things that happen in college basketball. So first, college basketball game is 40 minutes. So there's two halves, 20-minute halves, right? The first half is a I wouldn't call it a feeler half, because you see teams, beat up teams in the first half. As soon as it starts, other teams just not able to score the basketball. They pack the paint, they play zone, whatever they come out with. They come out with some tough defense, and the other team's just not able to score the basketball. They get out to a big lead. But the one thing with college is that, like, you'd see it in the NBA too. Comebacks are very common. Also don't think that your bet is, say, 15 points up, even though a 15-point lead in college is like a 25-point lead in the NBA. The pace of the game is slower. The amount of shots players are taking are slower. The amount of time is shorter. The skill level as well. Even though these guys, some of them develop into being NBA guys, the skill level as well is not obviously NBA level, right? So those factors make it to be what it, like, obviously, 15-point lead, and you could come back. You do see teams coming back often, but you often also see teams, even if they're the favorite team, lose out the game, get blown out because of the bad start they had. There's not enough time in college basketball. If you don't play perfect college basketball at a certain point, there's not enough time to be able to do really much. But yeah, okay, so I went through the time of the game. I went through the pace of the play. Also looking, it's because it's also explaining a little bit more on the pace of the play of the college game, is because the big man is a way more dominant figure in the college game. Obviously, the 3-point line, some schools, like we're going to watch this Howard Delaware State game, the men's championship, the highlights, right? And you'll see 3-point lines, right? A high school 3-point line, a college 3-point line, and an NBA 3-point line. And then for casuals, even for people that don't watch basketball, or for people that watch basketball, right, occasionally, but don't know that as well is something that, the court it's the same size, but the college 3-point line is a little bit closer. The NBA 3-point line, so it's a more interior game. Like, it's a more compact court. Even though it's the same size court, it's because you're stretching out that arc, then you're going to stretch out the defenders to be able to defend on that arc. You shrink it. You shrink down you compact the defenders. You compact the paint. And that's why it's such a slow game as well. That's why big men are so dominant in the game of college basketball. Looking at the last, just quickly, the last 5 national players of the year. You'll get a good idea of what I mean. So Zach Edey, I knew who he was already, but I wanted to know who the rest were. So Zach Edey, Oscar Tshiebwe. Remember him when he was on Kentucky, sorry. He's in the NBA now, but he's in the G League for the Indiana Pacers, right? Another big man, Luka Garza. In the NBA now, I still think he's in the NBA. I'm not sure, but he's part of the G League. Last time I checked, he was part of the Iowa Wolves of the G League, the Timberwolves. You got, Obi Toppin 2019, Zion, and, you got a little bit of, Zion's still big man, Obi Toppin's still big man, but they're not big man, right? Jalen Brunson, obviously, you got a little bit of outliers in a few of these ones, right? But nobody healed. But the Frank Kaminsky's, those are the ones I'm trying to look for to tell you, right? Frank Kaminsky was an amazing college basketball player. Comes to the NBA, it's not the same type of game because of the stretching. Even Oscar Tshiebwe, G League, obviously he's in the G League. Luka Garza, Oscar Tshiebwe, he might be able to make it back up, even though he's been in the league already for a year. But Luka Garza, he's been in the league for 2, 3, 4 years now, right? So it's like you're looking at that and you're saying, Yeah, it's because and Luka Garza is a great NBA, I mean, a great basketball player, but he's not a great NBA player. He's a great college player, but he's not a great NBA player. NBA, you got to be able to stretch the floor. I mean, even as a big, you got to be able to stretch the floor. You got to be able to defend at least you got to be able to defend, if you're not able to defend a point guard, at least be able to defend the shooting guard, small forward, power forward, your position, right? And I mean, center as well. If you're a big man, because you got to be able to be mobile, you got to be able to move your feet. That you see a lot of big men not being able to touch the floor nowadays because they're not being able to move their feet. You got to have stamina. Kenny Lofton Jr., he's playing for, I don't remember the team. Maybe he's still on the Memphis Grizzlies G League team, but Kenny Lofton Jr. could get buckets, doesn't have the stamina, doesn't have the, obviously they look at his build and say, oh yeah, he's too fat. But yeah, it's not even just being too fat. It's being, available, being ready to play 48 minutes if you have to. I mean, we seen Josh Hart do it just a few games ago. Only player to do it this year. Don't get me wrong, only player to do it this year, but still nonetheless did it. But again, I'm getting a little bit away from my point though. My point is that college game, NBA game, two obviously very different things. I laid out the reasons why. I said, okay, so they got a more compact court. 3-point line is closer, more compact court. It's a big man's game because of the more compact court. So that in being a more compact court as well, let me add another thing. Turnovers matter so much. You get a team that turns over the ball 15 times and this March Madness, they're probably going to lose the game. They matter so much. Possessions, like I said earlier, are far from few. Are far from many. There's not a lot of possessions. Like in a college basketball game, each team gets 60. You have 130, 150 would be a real high total for a college basketball game, 150, 160. You know what I'm saying? You don't got a lot of possessions, and those are teams that move a lot, don't defend too much, seeing a lot more of that evolution in the college game. But at the end of the day, at the core of the college game, it's still a big man's game, and it's still a defensive-minded game. But if you're able to trickle in a little bit of that's where you get the national championship. The national champions, they have a great big man, they have great defense, and if you're able to get shooting involved in there as well, you win. You win every single game. Don't turn over the ball as well, and you win every single game. And obviously, March Madness is just a streak. You have to go on 8-game streak, 6-game streak, something like that. I don't know. Don't have the number of games that you have to win in front of me, but yeah, exactly that. So so I'm done giving my whole dialogue on how the college game and the NBA game are just two different factions. So then we look at just these first four, the first fours that is going to be happening. I mean, starting today, we got Virginia against Colorado State. My bad. I said I was going to start with the Howard Wagner game. We didn't watch the Howard highlights, but it's okay. I think you guys got the idea with what I was trying to convey. This is you understand how it's a different game. So now understand why these teams are going to be the teams I bet on, and because I'm looking for these factors, right? Okay. Alrighty, so let's start with the Howard Wagner game. So the Wagner, let's just get this. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, so like I said, the Bison coming into this game, the Wagner Bison are 8-2 coming into this game. So hot. They're hot coming into this game. They average in the last 10, 75.5, 35 rebounds, 14.7 assists, 5.3 steals, 3.1 blocks. They're shooting 45.3% from the field. Their opponents, though, are scoring at an average of 71.3 points per game. You'll see that a lot. An offensive team, Kentucky, for example, will be offensive. Like I just said, they sacrifice the defense a little bit in there to get more points. At the end of the day, you got to score more to win than your opponent. But you see the problem in that equation is if you're not scoring and your opponent's scoring, that lead starts to move in the other direction. You're not able to defend them, they're able to defend you. You lose the game. With that said, the Wagner Seahawks last 10 averaging 61.8, 38.5 rebounds, 11.4 assists, 5.2 steals, 2.7 blocks, shooting 38.4, 3.7 from the field, and their opponents average 60 points per game. So defensively, the Wagner Seahawks are a much better defensive team than the Howard Bison. Maybe not much better, but just slightly better. But despite that fact, they just don't score enough points for me to move this needle. I mean, the way, again, like with all the factors that I said, interior big men, this, that, and the third. End of the day, even though, you don't want to bet or you don't want to put your chips on a team that's, relies on their offense more than their defense, especially in a game where, or in a tournament where defense wins you championships despite you having a good offense. This is just one game. And for the Wagner Seahawks being able to get into this first four, great job. Didn't have the best year, even for the Howard Bison. Great job. Didn't have the best year, but had a good ending to the year. But I don't see them being able to put together the plays to be able to offensively outscore Howard. I don't see them locking down Howard for long periods of time just because of the way they've been playing basketball. So I'm taking the Howard Bison here, and I'm taking them by their spread. Right now, you could go catch Howard. Let me get this. You could go catch Howard. They're 3.5. They're 3.5, and I'll take that. I take the 3.5. They're going to cover the 3.5. Virginia State against the Virginia Cavaliers, not Virginia State, against the Colorado Rams. Virginia, this is a team that, they would not want to be in these first four. Obviously expect a lot more from a Virginia team. They shoot the ball well, though. They are 9-2 in conference play. They are 5-0 in games decided by less than 4 points. In non-conference play, they're 9-2. The Virginia Cavaliers, they are. But coming into this game, both of these teams, 5-5, pretty mediocre, averaging 60. The Cavaliers are 70. The Rams are, and their opponents for the Rams are averaging 68, and their Cavaliers are averaging 65. For this matchup again, just looking at even the way the Virginia Cavaliers play, the one thing I would say though is about the Virginia Cavaliers is ACC teams are different. Even though regardless of what happens, this and that, ACC teams are different. I hear, Mountain West, pretty good. You got Utah State over there, Nevada, Boise, but not as good as the ACC. Not as good as the ACC for sure. And, for me, just taking it in as well, 9-2 in non-conference play for the Virginia Cavaliers. That is an easy pick for me. Going to quickly go to Montana State against the Grambling Tigers. Grambling had a great end to their season, being able to make this conference. Being able to make the March Madness. Won their last 4 out of 5. Montana State won their last 4 out of 5 as well. But coming into this game, I just think that Grambling just has a little bit too much momentum. Obviously, we're going to preview it tomorrow. But I don't think we're gonna preview it tomorrow, to be honest. So I'm gonna give you my picks right now. So I'm gonna take Grambling in the first game tomorrow, Grambling against Montana State, and Boise against Colorado State, Colorado Buffalo, the Buffaloes. The one thing about the Buffaloes, we're supposed to be much better in this position. Obviously didn't get the automatic bid, so got to fight their way in. Being a Pac-12 team, this and that again. I still feel like that's just a stronger conference in the Mountain West, and I just see them, pulling out the win that they need. For Colorado, you got Cody Williams as well. You got players if you're Colorado that I just trust in more to be able to bring out and get a win at the end of the day if they need to. I mean, that's just for them, like they just lost in the finals against lost in the finals against Oregon. Yeah, lost in the finals against Oregon, but got KJ Simpson, still got Eddie Lampkin Jr. over there, and Cody Williams. I swear they have a Cody Williams on their team. And they got Cody Williams. He's gonna be a top 10 at worst draft pick in this draft. Just got to trust in the guys. And with that said, I thank you for trusting in me, Isaiah Neni, your host of the Game Time Gazette. I mean, I've had a wonderful time today teaching you a little bit more basketball. Tomorrow I'm going to come in here and teach you a little bit more football. I'm going to come in here and do this a lot more, where it's just not me just rambling on about, news and this and that. This is what I think about it. I want to teach a lot of young kids nowadays don't know the game, don't know the games, don't know. I mean, if you know basketball, okay, cool. Don't know football, don't know European soccer, European football. That's what I call it. Don't know American football. Obviously, I'm not the most knowledgeable in F1, but I mean, maybe they're trolling too. But even with the trolls, I'll come back on here on the Game Time Gazette. And as always, I'll just keep you guys updated. I'll keep you guys informed. I'll keep you guys up to date on everything going on in our world of sports. Again, it's been your host, Isaiah Aneni. I'm rambling on to make this ending. I don't know how to end this. I just want to say, tell those loved ones that that you love them. Every time I hear that, I say, that's the best thing, anybody could say. You don't know when it's going to end. Don't know what's going to happen. We're in a crazy world like I started. We're all in this together, honestly. Nobody's in here alone. Feel like that. Reach out to someone talk to someone. And if you don't have anyone to talk to, I know who you could talk to. You could talk to Jesus Christ. He loves you. He'll always love you, no matter how many mistakes you make. Just ask him for forgiveness and go back. Have an awesome Tuesday afternoon. I will see you guys back tomorrow. This has been Isaiah. I know I just gave a lot of feedback if you had me on the if you had me on loud. But this has been Isaiah Neni. This has been the Game Time Gazette. I thank you again. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave everything that you can. I thank you again. Until next time. Peace.